Let's now continue part two of this topic. So, this part will talk about the classifications of partners, although we have known this one on our first discussions. But for purposes of spontaneity, we'll have another discussion. So, basically, partners are classified according to their capital contribution, according to their contribution. So, first one, we have capitalist partner who only furnishes capital. So when it comes to capitalist partner, they are to share for the profits and losses. They are not exempted when it comes to the sharing of losses. Here, the capitalist partner could engage in other businesses provided that there is no competition between the partner and his business. So basically, general rule is a capitalist partner cannot engage in the same kind of business in which the partnership is engaged. And also, he is the ones contributing money and property. Unlike an industrial partner, as a general rule talaga, he cannot engage in business for himself because the idea is you have to devote all your time in labor, industry, and skill to the partnership. The only exception to that is if the partnership expressly, so through an express agreement permitting him to engage in um, other business, but still he cannot engage in business which is of the same kind or in competition with the industry, with the partnership. So yun ang pinaka um, difference ng um, the partners when it comes to prohibition of engaging into business. So aside from what would be their contribution. So take note when it comes to the management naman, capitalist partner, well basically the idea is if there would be agreement to who should manage the business kung wala silang industrial partner, basically all of the partners would become managers. But otherwise it would be the industrial partner that would be the ones who would manage if that would be their stipulation at yun na din yung kanilang agreement. So next one is an industrial partner in cases that he would engage in business without the permit or permission of the other partners would basically, he could be excluded from the partnership. Plus, he would pay for damages. And aside from that, it's either the partnership basically would benefit as well of what he have obtained from that business, or he can be availed that benefit could be availed by other partners plus damages. So the rule remains true whether or not there is competition because the reason is all his industry is supposed to be given to the partnership only. We have now a capitalist industrial partner contributing both capital and industry, general and limited partner. This is on the aspect of liability. So take note as well that when it comes to industrial partner, he can only be a general na partner. Hindi siya po pwedeng magiging limited partner. So, hindi po pwedeng um, limited industrial, but just should be industrial general lang po pwede. And then managing partner or the industrial partner who manages actively, we've known this one. So, secret, dormant, nominal. Distinctions between a capitalist's partner as against with industrial partner in terms of contribution. So, money and property for capitalist, industrial is his industry, that is mental and physical na contribution. As to the prohibition here, uncapitalist partners, what I've mentioned, cannot generally engage in the same or particular same or similar enterprise as that of the firm. So no competition. So the test is the possibility of unfair competition. And then the industrial partner cannot engage in any business. Yung exception natin dito is only when he is permitted by the um, partnership, but basically general rule, he cannot engage in any business. The reason for that is all his industry is supposed to be contributed to the firm. And then as to profits, we have the capitalist partner shares in the profits according to the agreement. So if there would be no agreement, then if there would be no agreement in proportion or pro rata to his contribution. While in an industrial partner, basically the share in the profits should be firstly, according to the agreement. If there would be no agreement, he would receive such share as be just and equitable under the circumstances, of course. Ano? But here, to consider as well, kino-consider natin dito din yung just and equitable, yung kanyang mga nagiging contribution in a form of his industry or skill to so that the partnership would have profitable. As to losses naman, the general rule is that ang capitalist partner is that the agreement, what would be the agreement or stipulation as to the losses, yun yung masusunod if there is any. However, if no agreement, yung agreement as to profits. So if in the absence of agreement as to profits and losses, then in proportion to the contribution. So the industrial partner, if there would be stipulation, as to losses, that would be the ones followed. However, in the absence of agreement, the industrial partner should not be liable for the losses. So exempted siya from losses. But he is liable to strangers without prejudice to reimbursement from the capitalist na partner. So, in comes to before we're gonna go on that, what would be the remedy of the capitalist partner against an industrial partner who engage in business for himself nga, di ba? So, ito exclude o di kaya man ay yung capitalist partner ay pwedeng the other partners, capitalists, would avail themselves of the benefits na nakuha or obtained by the industrial partner plus damages. Hindi po pwede na yung failure of the industrial partner um, to perform yung promised industry din ha as a continuation. Hindi siya po pwedeng for action of specific performance, take note of that kasi hindi siya available na remedy kasi magiging involuntary servitude na yon. So, pinagbabawal yun under the Constitution. So, hindi po pwede yun. Ang pinaka po pwede, ang mangyayari ay he would be excluded na to the partnership. So, that would be the probability. So, under 1790, what should be the amount of contribution? So, unless there is a stipulation, the partner shall contribute to in equal, contribute to equal na shares. Hindi na it is perishable. Unless there is a contribution, unless there is an agreement to that effect, ang pinaka ano talaga general rule ay ang contribution ay equal to the capital of the partnership. But it is permissible na unequal yung kanilang sharing of contribution. So, in the absence of proof as to how much is the sharing, then it should be presumed that their shares are equal. To whom applicable, the rule applies to capitalist partners, apparently. However, the share of the industrial partner, undoubtedly also available for his industry, may be worth even more than the entire capital contributed. That is why when it comes to distribution of profits, minsan kinoconsider yun just an equitable as to the contribution of the industrial partner to the partnership. One capitalist's partner is obliged to sell his interest to the other partners. So basically, um, under a, under the law in 1791, there is a provision that a capitalist partner may be re- may be may be required to contribute additional capital. As a general rule, however, he is not bound to contribute additional capital, but he would should be obliged or should be bound in cases when there is a stipulation to that he needs to contribute additional capital, and in cases as well that there is an imminent loss of the business of the partnership. So basically that is to save the business venture. Ano? So if the capitalist partner refused to contribute additional capital, he should be obliged to sell his interests to the other capitalist partner who are willing to contribute for additional capital. So, the reason for that, of course, is babalik na naman tayo dun sa atin pong governing principle on the contract of partnership. So, yung contract of partnership is governed by the principle of fiduciary, that it is trust and confidence, so that if a capitalist partner hindi willing to make additional contribution, then there is no more fiduciary relationship to speak of. So, ang nangyayari ay, um, pwede siya exclude. So, that would be the general rule. So, under point 2, and he refuses deliberately and not of poverty. On the assumption kasi na solvency partner na capitalist. Ano? Otherwise, this would be unjust to contribute an additional share to the capital and provide further that there is no agreement to the contrary. So the reason is that because of his apparent lack of interest and granting he sincerely believes that efforts to save the firm would be futile, the capitalist partner referred to should get out of the partnership or firm. Note that the industrial partner is exempted for additional contribution. He is already giving his entire industry to the partnership. Let's now go for 1792. What is the rule if managing partner collects a credit? So, here, under Article 1792, if a partner authorized to manage so that is a managing partner, collects a demandable sum which was owed to him in his own name from a person who owed the partnership, another sum also demandable. The sum thus collected shall be applied to the two credits in proportion to their amounts, even though he may have given a receipt for his own credit only. But should he have given it for the account of the partnership credit, the amount shall be fully applied to the partnership then na credit. So basically, this is the rule under 1792, yung obligation ni managing partner na nakakollect ng debt. So, ang requirement lang natin ay dapat may dalawang debt. One ay si managing partner ang creditor and the other ay ang creditor naman or ang nagpapautang ay sino? Si partnership. And then both sums are demandable. So, in that case, ay titingnan natin kung paano po i-a-apply ang credit. So, ito yung nalaman na din natin sa ating oblicon, 'di ba? So, yun po yung atin pong rule. So, it should be given for the account of the partnership credit and the amount should be fully applied to the latter. Even though nakapag-resibo na sino? Si managing partner. What's the reason behind? This is to prevent the furtherance of the partner's personal interest. to the detriment of course ng partnership. So hindi po ito applicable itong 1792 to a partner na hindi po siya managing ha. Not applicable to a partner who is not a managing partner because there is no basis for the suspicion na pwedeng nagkakaroon ng bad faith si partner. So nag-a-apply lang siya kay managing partner. So yun po. And let's now go for 1793. What would be the rule? Oh, we know this one already. The rule if managing partner collects a credit, ito yung mga requirements, may dalawang debts, both sums are demandable, and then the collecting partner is the ones which is collecting the debt. So as an example, P, a managing partner, is excess creditor to the amount of 1 million, already demandable. X also owes to the partnership 1 million, also demandable. Etong si P, si managing partner, nakakolekta ng 1 milyon. If P gives a receipt for the firm, it is the firm's credit that has been collected. So, assuming na ang nakolektang utang ay kay partnership. If P gives a credit for his own credit, or gives a receipt for his own credit only, 500,000 will be given to him and the other would be 500,000 to the firm because nga yung word natin na proportion, proportion to the where have I read that? So, in proportion, may have given a receipt for his own, well, it should be applied to the two credits in proportion to their amounts under 1792. So, the reason for that is to prevent nga furtherance of the partner's personal interest to the detriment of the firm. Exception. If X may decide that he is paying only P's credit, so personally the managing partner, in accordance with his right of application of payment under the civil code, this is all right or this is fine, but only if the personal credit of P is more onerous to X. Kapag po mas burdensome kay X yung utang kay P. So, marami siyang mga naka-attach. Kung siya ay collateralized, kung sa partnership naman ay hindi. So, mas mabigat, mas maraming mawawala sa kanya in case man, kung hindi man uunahin, burdensome, hindi niya uunahin yung credit ni personally ni managing partner. So, yun po ang